Excellent. I managed to attain livelihood on YouTube. It's something I'm experimenting with. I was thinking there's two ways to fundamentally host a live, to broadcast a live stream on YouTube. There's a lot of benefits. There's the simpler option. There's two options. I love that that I discovered. There might be more, but the one is completely simple. It's this one here. And you can like to add more interactive. Um, Another YouTube actually has a great YouTube creator academy. I think I'm identifying that right. Apologize if I don't want to make up an institution accidentally. You know, I'm going to make up a goddamn institution that doesn't exist. You better believe that should be a long-term plan. You know, if I wanted to create an institution, that's a lot of damn work to create an institution. I respect anybody who creates anything. A mother creates a child. I respect the fuck out of that. I'm glad I don't have to give birth. It's a wonderful thing. I'm grateful for what I have to deal with. I'm blessed. It's great. Uh, it's not an experience that I can go through. I would like to, I have, I would like to, wrong words. Yeah, but this is a test broadcast. It's currently 10, 8, 10, October, and agree upon the 10th month of a 12-month year. I mean, we can argue about the number of months in a year if we wanted to. What is a calendar? It's a device that we use to measure time. That's what a calendar is. Simplest definition I can think of. A calendar is a device that we use to measure, because we need to measure time sometimes when it is. At other times it isn't. I often like to think sometimes you can, I think, plan too much, and there are other times you can plan too little. The idea that you find the middle path, but then again, the middle path is I didn't want to discuss that. But you know, we could discuss any one thing. You know, extended metaphor perhaps. That's an option. But anyway, I did want to let's just discuss Halloween for a moment, if you want to. Somebody watching right now? I did not embed it into a Facebook to provide. I haven't tested those posts to see if they received anything. Yeah, that's fine. Particularly worry or care too much about it. But yeah, it's not an important metric. When I think about cross-platform generation of, you know, you got to operationally get feedback that should not occur, but did occur there. That's weird. But so, like, I was creating. I decided, hey, I set myself a ridiculous constraint. I said, I want to create a Halloween playlist of songs. I want to do it like something. That was bad. But I did just pick up a book. And this is the book I just picked up. I was very excited. I think one of the things Colonial Heights is lucky to have is a retail bookstore. It is. I mean, I wish we had a used bookstore here, but Goodwill suffices. Three Goodwills with close radius of here. Colonial Heights Goodwill, a walking distance. Petersburg Goodwill. I mean, it's everything's a walking distance, really. I mean, not you can't walk across water. It's not something you can. I did hear a story once about this guy, Jesus, and he could walk. And that's about to be a pretty cool trip. I don't mean that trip. I don't mean definitive way. Jesus Christ was a trickster. Not in any way trying to say that. No way, shape, or form. Um, uh, Talk about Jesus Christ in relation to Halloween. That's, you know, I don't know. Do you want to? Put this up for debate. No, I don't really. Jesus Christ, you know, that's a 2 word name. I guess it's the agreed upon name, and the Abrahamic faith system, Catholics, Christians, they believe in Jesus. That's all right. That's cool. You want to believe in Jesus Christ? That's great. Wonderful. 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 I'd like to learn more about that relation to you. I'd like to help you. If that's if you're, and there's a lot of it. I grew up. I did try. I grew up to a degree. What does grow up even mean? I did grow up height-wise. I'm 6'3". The last time I accurately had somebody else measuring yourself is hard. I like the fancy way they measure you when you go to a doctor's office. It's really cool. You stand on it, and it's this wonderful ruler. It has that kind of top part that slides off at a 90-degree angle. The very uppermost part of your top of your head. And interesting, the top of your skull. It's fun. It's like, wow, how tall am I today? Am I going to grow any more? And you do ask that for a while. You wonder, wow, this growth is interesting. When do I reach my full height? Assuming I don't have any disorders that might cause me to never. I mean, is there a health disorder that causes somebody to grow so they never stop growing tall? I didn't ever encounter that one. I knew there are a lot of height disorders. I was thinking of. I don't want to do that now because I can't probably get further to that. And I don't want to discuss something. Damn, that line was fell apart. But anyway, Halloween, and I was trying to make a playlist. I love music. It's good for me. I would be not a bad music, but it would be weird to be like, I hate music. Let me play you some songs that I hate. That'd be a weird way to. Let me take the song I hate the most and let me sing it. But I was excited. Spooky, spooky, spooky Virginia. That's the main title. There's no like colon or anything in the subtitle. It's Tales of Haunting, Strange Happening, and Other Local Lore. And this was written by, was retold by S.E. Schlosser. And it is illustrated by Paul G. Hoffman. And it's not like I know S.E. Schlosser. S.E. S.E. S.C.H.L.O. S.S.E.R. That's that name. That's retold. And I like this concept. I love that. He's not this Schlosser fellow. And I've never heard anything about him. I don't like it when feedback is I can't understand why. Bothers the hell. So this is. Well, stop that. Don't do that anymore, please. So this is distributed by the National Book Network at 800 number, and it's $12.95. And it's also Globe Coat Press, not one I'm familiar with. Guilford, Connecticut. They have a website. Imagine that. And this is also. Oh, okay. I've never read this series, but also in this by this author, illustrator, we have. Let's say, Spooky California. Spooky Florida. And I'm not going to keep repeating Spooky. That's the series. That's every fucking title that S.E. Schlosser and Paul G. Hoffman produced, written together, whatever, and produced the wrong fucking word. Would be, let's just go through this list. And how do we want to approach this? Let's go through, we could do alphabetical, and that might not be the best list for everybody. Anyway, let's do this quickly. Now! Spooky California. That would be a pretty cool one. I once lived in a haunted house in Ojai Valley mountain area of California. I'd like to go back to that house to a degree. Spooky Florida. Wonderful. There are some. I don't. Okay, anyway. Hey, Stephen Law, do you want that book? It's not broadcasting live. Oh, fuck. I just shouted out the wrong name on YouTube. Oh, my God, it's a crisis. Sorry for mentioning you. It's a failure for me. Spooky Maryland. Okay. Yeah, I would like to read. So far, I'd like to read California, Florida, and Maryland. This book, how this book analyzes. Spooky Massachusetts. Oh yeah, I'd sign up for that. Spooky Michigan. Wow. Okay. Spooky Montana. Awesome. And then we go Spooky New Jersey. All right. Spooky New York. Okay. Wonderful. Is there anybody right now out there that going, oh my God, this is a travesty? I haven't heard one southern state yet. My God. I just said Spooky Virginia. I started with that because that's the book I'm holding in my hand. We're in the South here, aren't we? Yes, obviously, clearly. Spooky North Carolina. That would be awesome. Spooky Oregon. Oh, wow. Spooky Pennsylvania. Love that. Spooky Texas. Spooky Washington. And then Spooky Wisconsin. Wonderful. And then there also are some regional titles here, and I kind of like that. Spooky South. Spooky Southwest. And then, of course, there is then, I do appreciate this, they did address another nation, Spooky Canada, and then you have the general collection here of campfire tales. I like that concept of songs, wrong word, tales, stories. So, and then there's a dedication here. I don't really feel like that's good. So there's a map. That's convenient. This book has a map, so if you're not at all familiar with it, that's great. That is on X. And the introduction begins on XIII. That's 13 Roman numerically. And then part 1 is ghost stories. And then we have 1 through, okay? Wow. 1 through 13. There's 13 ghost stories, part 1. Then part 2, powers of darkness and light. That is 14 through 26. Numerically, just to provide you idea. 2 parts to this book. And then we have resources. Isn't that great? That's cool. We have an additional chapter. Wonderful. We have then looks like about a page each about the author and about the illustrator. So I'm going to go to about the author first. I would have researched it. I don't have any S.E. Schlosser. S.E. Schlosser. Well, looking at that name, just trying to analyze it, they produced, I like it. They've decided to abbreviate their first and middle name, keep their last name all out there. That would be probably the best way. Last name. Authors are organized in traditional systems. So S.E. Schlosser. And there's a picture here of her. So you could, her, it looks like a her. I'm not trying to. S.E. Schlosser, if I had to describe this picture of her, It's not bad. It's not the best. Black and white. Look like probably a photo. I don't think it's probably originally shot in black and white. I mean, it's on the quality of photo. It's, I don't know, I would say, no, it's not the worst author photo I've ever seen. Not the best. Here it is. There it is. There. That is a picture of that author, and that's nice though. I like the fact that I get to see what they look like. That's kind of cool. Not all books do provide a picture of the author. Not always, So then there we go. And this is about the author. Line of this book. S.E. Schlosser has been telling stories since she was a child. When games of Let's Pretend quickly built themselves into full-length. I graduated, and I've never heard of this, and it's not her fault, it's not my fault. I don't know how to pronounce this. Houghton, Houghton College, the Institute of Children's Literature, and Rutgers University. She created and maintains the award-winning website American Folklore. That's 3 words all put together. American, traditional spelling, folk, Folk, and then lore, Lore. All 3 words, traditional spelling, .net. And American, obviously, of course, traditionally spelled American, American, and folklore.net to distinguish it as a network, which is, not necessarily, but that's .net. AmericanFolklore.net. I think it does make it, an interesting thing. Like I remember one time when the internet first came, a lot of us didn't know what to do. I remember that. I remember I was studying radio at the time. As an assignment, I had there's so many assignments. Anyway, one of the assignments I had to do history of radio was, discuss the metric that radio uses to analyze their ratings, to generate and produce reliable data so that they can say, hey, this show right here, it generates like this many listeners. I mean, that's not like we can't at this moment in time hope to know how many, but Arbitron, Arbitron, Arbitron is the service that measures radio statistics. And so you might be at one point in time selected randomly, and you were an Arbitron household. You were a human being, representative of a large number of ad revenue statistics. So it's kind of a really important, interesting responsibility, because they're asking you, hey, do you mind first? Because you don't want to be like, you're going to take this goddamn test. If you are, it's like more like, would you like to take this test? It would help me. I could, if you want to. I don't really want to entice you, but if you do, I could provide. I don't know. Yeah, that's radio. I'll give you $5. Cool. Something like a token. There's more something you do. Just says, okay, I gotta do that. Like, wow, okay, I'll do that. You don't have to turn them down. Sorry for the digression of the radio. Very little maintenance. So she is AmericanFolklore.net. The personal digression continued, where she shares a wealth of stories from all 50 states. Well, I'd like to provide it, to be accurate, you want to say the number of states and the number of commonwealths. that's unnecessary. I would agree. Not unnecessary, but it would be accurate. 50 states is technically. Some dating back to the origins of America. Sandy much of her time answering questions. Well, awesome. That's a nightmare. Many of her favorite emails come from other folklorists who relate practicing the old tradition of who can tell the tallest tale. And I like that. It doesn't really. I mean, I like that. I like it. I mean, I'd have to research Halton College. I'd have to research the Institute of Children's Literature. Rutgers. I didn't consider it. About the illustrator artist Paul Hoffman, Hoffman, Paul Hoffman. That is how you spell this guy's name. Trained in painting and printmaking, his first extensive illustration work on assignment, drawing ancient wall reliefs for the University of Chicago. His work graces books of many genres, children's titles, textbooks, short story collections, natural history volumes, and numerous cookbooks. For Virginia, he employed a scratchboard and an active. So that's pretty cool. I mean, there's nothing inherently, I'm not opposed to those others. I don't know. So here's the map of Virginia. I'm looking at it. I like it. It takes it. Wow. I have the ability to share with you. There's the map of Virginia. I like that. That's pretty good. It's an accurate map of Virginia. Very nice. It's not like drawn. See that? It's not like drawn horribly. And then, of course, it dictates numerically, starting with 1 and going to 26, the sites and black dots, white numbers. And there 1 through 26. 1 happens to be and then 26 is Richmond. There doesn't seem to be any order to these numbers. And then I see a duplication of number 1. 1 actually identifies Richmond, and then there is an error here. No, I'm sorry. 26 is accurate, but there are 2 distinct ones. If 26 is where they say Richmond is, I agree with them. And 20, next to Richmond, is also Richmond. That seems extraneous to use 2 distinct numbers to identify Richmond. That's weird, but maybe there's a point. So I see 20 and 26 right next to each other. Okay. That's something your proofreader should have caught, but okay. And then, of course, 1. Where's 1? Great Dismal Swamp. It is accurate. The on the second page of the okay. So let me point out to you, like, I can't do this. I could scan this in. I could provide. See, these 2 dots here are the 2 dots I'm talking about. 2026, both Richmond. Then they say 1 is the Great Dismal Swamp. That is accurate. Great Dismal Swamp. That's Suffolk area of Virginia. That's accurate. But then they also have this one up here. They also have this one up here kind of floating above, like Ashlandish area, maybe Ladysmith, a 1-ish as well. So there's this extraneous. This is an extraneous floating 1, and then this one down here. This is Dismal Swamp accurate. And then you did label Richmond twice with 20 and 26. Those are just the immediate errors that I see in this book. But hey, when was this book published? I forgot to. So then this book was published for the very first time. Its ISBN, its International Serial Barcode Number, is 978-0-7627-5125-9. Okay. All right. And 2010. So 10 years ago, this book was published. But, folklore, it's got a hell of a shelf life. Not a lot of new folklores come along in the last decade. Not yet, maybe. I mean, if you want to talk about that, that's great.
when you're talking about like, like research into folklore, I think, this book was published 10 years ago. I bought it the day that I had a beautiful freighter of mine stop by, and a beautiful soror stopped by. I've been cleared with them, their names in relation to being released. We had a great 2 days together. We had a great weekend once. Me, this beautiful couple I was hanging out with. It was great, and wasn't broadcasting. But I digress. So then, so we have, so this is a ghost collection, and so like, so anyway, I'm not unhappy with this book so far. So, if I thought to myself, the grooviest to me, and the greenest, the groovy green ghost story that I've heard since residing here in Virginia off and on since I was 17. Been coming back like a goddamn yo-yo, maybe. I really, and if we studied my path in relation to a yo-yo trick, it'd be a pretty interesting one, actually. But anyways, I'm trying to blank slate. Well, I did work on a documentary film where we granted permission to film in the middle of Lake Drummond. Lake, in the middle of the interesting. A lot of history there. You can actually walk along and get George Washington survey Lake Drummond. Interesting. Magnetic anomaly. Look, canals in the George Washington say there. I did like the George Washington Canal with my father. We decided, let's fucking do it. Did it. And 5-mile walk, I remember 6 from the entrance to Park Ant in Suffolk, Virginia. And like Norfolk, Suffolk. That's how. And try to be aware of local pronunciation if you want to fit in. Or, don't. It's up to you. Fit in with the local population. Do you want to blend in perfectly, or do you want to, I don't know, 50%? I don't know. Do you fit in? Not at all. Fitting in, not at all, is slow to me. I tried to convince you. Anyway, so then we have, okay, so I'm going to say that's one go-to I know, Great Dismal Swamp. They have the Great Dismal Swamp Goggle-Eyed Jim. Cool. I like a good swamp legend. I explored one myself with a video crew. Did a reenactment of the Indian maiden spirit that has been seen to paddle a ghostly canoe across the Lake Drummond at certain times. It was kind of cool. It was like, I'm joking, it wasn't. So anyway, we were inside the Great Dismal Swamp. Me, I think her name was Karen. Maybe it was. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. You beautiful creature that I went to
college with in Norfolk, Virginia. We were alumni. We weren't until after we graduated, but we were students together, you and I. And this was it was a beautiful, wonderful experience. It was part of my documentary film class taught by Conrad Winters. I thought, wow, it's a fucking cool name. He spelled Conrad with a K. Yeah, he was fucking cool. He was awesome. He was one of those professors that I was also very interested in how to teach. So I would study each professor. Awesome. And I would never want to say my favorite fucking professor while I lived in university. I would say that I was blessed with Dr. Soha, S-O-C-H-A. Wow, I thought that Tom Soha was just wow. And I would want to be respectful of Dr. Soha. That's an earned fucking thing, a doctorate. Wow. And so then, of course, Dr. Edgerton, Dr. Gary Edgerton. And you want to talk about if I think of film and my ability to understand it as well as I do, and I'm proud of it. And I think Gary Edgerton. I tried to keep in contact with Gary Edgerton to a high degree post college, but I was so kind of trying to figure out so much at once. I did appreciate it at one time, in just random trying to. This was before Facebook. I had Gary's, I don't know, university email, and I kept track of it for the longest time. I was trying to find a website page. But anyway, Gary Edgerton, I think we're friends on Facebook, Gary. Tag you or something. Yeah. Was great. But anyway, Dr. Jim Basil, A-E-S-A-E-L. God damn, I hope I'm not spelling your name wrong. I feel real bad about that. I did love, I think my favorite question on all the tests and not my favorite, that'd be very hard, but one of my favorite, Dr. Jim Basler, B-A-S-L-E-R. That's how I remember it. He was all right as Dr. B. He was cool with that. He didn't mind that abbreviation. He was a very I think I would have to say, if I had to describe, just laid back, groovy, bearded man. Relatively tall man. I think he's about my height, maybe a little taller actually. And I thought always skinny for his height. Not skinny. I don't know. Trying to describe people as, but I was his TA, and that was for introduction to communication. It was fun. The whole experience. I loved it. So they don't have any Norfolk in here. And you know what? I hung out. I think if I then thought about the next cool Virginia ghost story I've heard is the Funny Man's Bridge. I didn't remember that being in Clifton, but I have heard of it. So they do have that. That's 13. So one, I was in the Dismal Swamp myself, hunting a ghost. I didn't do the research. I was helping out because Karen, God damn, what was that stewardess's name? Flight attendant. God damn, how do you do that? Cool. Wow. Goggle-eyed Jim, Great Dismal Swamp. Yeah. So anyway, there's that. So Virginia Beach, Elbow Road. I lived in Virginia Beach. I remember on Elbow Road. I feel like there's some kind of opportunity. I would have gone Witch Duck Road to a degree, and you could have talked about the local legend of Witch Duck. Witch, W-I-T-C-H, exactly as it sounds, duck. Witch Duck Road, named for the only witch that was tried in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and see a statue of this particular witch, you would go to Virginia Beach Hospital, the Centerra one, Independence Boulevard, and wrong way to refer to hospital, the Independence Boulevard location, and then you would go, and there would be a statue. It was a really, actually lovely statue. Pleased to go visit it and participate in geocaching at the time. I always knew that. So there's the Richmond ghost story is called Fire with an exclamation point. Then the honest wine merchant. Okay, so that explains. I'm an ass. That's not an error. I misrepresented. They were trying to say where each story came from. They told two Richmond stories, and it sounded two Richmond stories. So let's separate them by 20 and 26. And Richmond is the only city, obviously, warrant two stories. Okay. Richmond, Virginia. I'm not in Richmond. I'm like Richmond. Never encountered any ghost stories. It's not like I did research in the direct department. Interesting. Okay, so I don't know. Then this is just a quick Alexandria. Cool. Foul smell. I used to date this beautiful creature. Her name was Barry. The longest time. Sometimes I wasn't as mindful as I should be. Barry and I met on Twitter randomly, and I remember we were talking. She had a weird thumbnail circle picture, and I was just, as long as I was Barry, that's what I remember her Twitter name. Identified a private account or something. Prove me following you. Okay, cool. Well, that's fine. You're free to do that. So Barry, are you out there? I mean, I know we're not friends on here, but if you know Barry from Richmond, no, Alexandria, Virginia, I don't mean to identify her so much in the public spectrum, but I'd like to find her alive. Loved her dearly. Work out. So that is foul smell. Maybe that'll be me. Go exploring some plans, come together. Front Royal, been there. Never. Jack Ma Lantern there. And of course we Gloucester, I've been there. Trail of Blood. And we had Big Stone Gap. I haven't been to that particular gap. I'm familiar with it. That's RUPP, RUPP. Amherst County, Devil in the Flower Barrel. Okay, and Mount Vernon, Consecration. Shenandoah Valley, cool. Chef. I like that. It's easy to remember, alliterative. Hey, you ever heard about Chef, Shenandoah Valley? Matthews County, Old House Woods. That's pretty cool. Williamsburg, you get a love the trade. Newport. Let me see. 8. Newport. Is that right? City, Virginia, Newport. I think Newport, Virginia. Let me go to the map there and look at where they identify that story. So, and those count. I forgot to notate that was Newport was a ghost. The other Newport. Okay. Number 8. 53. Let's look at number 8. Certainly 8 is not identified where Newport is. Whoa, no, I've never heard of it. Why have I never seen Newport way over there? It is like almost quasi-similar latitude, for sure, to this Newport. Not like 100% accurate. In general, studying it, best immediate nature there. So that's cool. So, oh, that's interesting. I've never been there. It's cool. and the Horseman, Fredericksburg, Angel, Jamestown, that's spelled P-A-S, Danville, Old 97, great band, the Old 97s, great band. Also, maybe a potentially interesting ghost story. Danville. Uh, cool, cool. Interesting. So, and then of course, Lee County, I'm not super Lee. I'm jumping out of where is Lee County? Am I going to feel bad when I identify where Lee County is? How do I not know Lee County? Oh no. It's far western edge of the state, near Coburn, yeah, near Big Stone Gap, you know, all together there. Lee. It's interesting to see those data points collect there. There's four there. That little western uh, pocket of Van Gorder, Weird, Virginia. Then you have 19 and 15, they occur close together. 19, Smith County and Grayson County. And then, of course, 17, unfortunately, located right near the split of the page bindings. It's very hard to see 17. I think I'm going to move it out maybe millimeters. Bedford County. Okay. Lone one there. 12, 16 next to each other. Danville. And Danville. So they've done two Danvilles, two, two Richmond. Out of all the stories, you feel like Danville's worthy of two. I didn't like exploring that particular trip. Amherst County is relatively near. 13, 15, 18, 18 is farthest north. They go Front Royal, maybe 21. North, probably here, but not. Front Royal is 9. Okay, and Bowling Green, you get just totally. So the double one totally in error. There's a one floating above Richmond, northwest area of Richmond. Screenings one needs to be corrected. Next edition. Yeah, but like they do have Jamestown and Williamsburg. Jamestown are near each other. I mean, across any. Can I go there? Why not? There's 5 Matthews County, 22, of course, Gloucester. Kind of the most awkward to get to. 5 Matthews County, 22, Gloucester. But anyway, I'm not going to read stories. Do you want to hear one? Let's read. I don't know. Let's read the Great Dismal Swamp one. I'm skipping the introduction. Goggle-eyed Jim, Great Dismal Swamp. He was a notorious scoundrel and a horse thief. He was the bane of my Goggle-eyed Jim, they called him. The things they called me when I failed to catch him. Well, that's besides the point. I like that. That's the first paragraph. And, so that's interesting. That's it. And this Goggle-eyed Jim begins on page 2. Nice. It's a nice. I think it's a nice general type font. It's discussed here. The font that nice, good size. I think. I like that the page number is presented at the bottom of the page center. That's nice. The title itself exists across the top. Right hand page. On page 4 is your first illustration. Like it says, it maybe not the, but is it the best? Is that the best technique to create art? I don't know. I'm not a criticism. I like it. It is it. I think the image does.
There's a spooky level to that illustration by Paul G. Hoffman.
So that's interesting. Okay. Change. Two to eight. Okay. Nice. Quickly. One illustration. Cool. I'm not gonna read it. But if you, I don't know if you want a review of this book of content review, that's going to take me some time. These are retold. You know, I wanted to talk about ghost stories. This is a book I bought the other day. I just kind of wanted to, I had this plan, and then COVID-19, woo, threw a lot of my plans right out the window. Well, anyway, no, so I'm saying that book, I'm just saying I haven't had the experience, not that I did not do, I did not do, that was not my project. It was helping out because I didn't have anything better to do. I like to help people. I don't remember if I was asked specifically to volunteer for that. Me, I was sure. Gosh, I don't want to reach out. Anyway, interesting. But anyway, Great Dismal Swamp. It's interesting. I am going to read that story, see if it seems accurate. Is there any way to track it down? Maybe Dismal Swamp's in a car, and I can't walk. Oh, it's an hour and a half drive. That would be best. Oh, the Suffolk. Yeah, I think so. Hour and a half, depending on exactly where. But in general, many different paths to take the most direct one. Take so many different ways. Is there anything you want to do when you leave? You're here in Colonial Heights, for example. Interesting. It's a thought. Is that a comment? Or so, but if you were here, where's here? Richmond. If you were in, I'm in, actually, on city. I'm scared. Threatening. There is.